Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy Handyman, Handy Andy on Demand. Welcome back to a project run through up in Cartersville. We do a ton of work up here. It's amazing how far we run all over Atlanta, but these customers get ready to sell their house. We're gonna run this real fast just because it's getting late. So underneath this window right here, this is Dutch lap masonite siding. It's really hard to find, but we do have one source for it still. That's a little harder to get out here. But we'll replace that row right there. The grain pattern is slightly different, but once it's painted, nobody will notice. This is basically a cardboard siding, so if you don't keep it caulked and painted properly, it goes to rot pretty quick. And this homeowner has actually kept up on the paint job, but they sprayed it, and they did some caulking. On the right side front over here, we got the same issue underneath this window. We've got two rows right here that we'll replace. They got a front porch that they coated it with, it's got a full concrete floor across that porch, and they put this stone finish on it. The railing on the deck, we can save the railing, we just need to add a post at mid-span. Code is a post every 6 feet, so we put one in the middle, we'll be good there. This is old growth wood, so I don't want to replace it, but these treads were cut a little bit short. They're 2x10s, but they were cut down to 2x9s because it had too much overhang and they didn't want to put a riser here. So we'll replace the treads with 2x10s and then put a 5/4 board riser to seal it up. This step is just a little tricky up here because the stones, come out over it. We'll pressure wash this walkway, and it's really hard when you're selling a house. You want to get rid of any rotted wood that you have, because if you don't, the inspector's going to find it and it just scares buyers away. They think everything costs $1 million. We'll fix the rot in this brick mold and frame at the right side of the entry door at the garage. And then on the back of the house, they don't have tons of rot because they've actually tried to keep up on it. Camera's going to have a hard time getting it, but we've got rotted fascia and soffit under this gutter, and you can't see it real well, but there's two holes for the gutter where they put that corner together. It's just been leaking the whole time. You've got a little bit of rot back here. That's gonna be hard to see it, but to the left of this window right here, we gotta replace those two bottom rows right there. When you get up on the back deck, between this lamp right here, this exterior fixture, there's 5 rows between the door and the window. We'll replace that with Dutch lap. All the way down to the bottom, and we're probably going to have to run this all the way out to the corner. My guys will try to piece it in, but we won't know until we get to it. And then we'll add a deck flashing plate where that bottom piece of siding hits the deck. They've got some rot at the left and right side of this rear deck door, and then the chimney will catch from the backyard, but we need to replace all that siding. This is 5/4 decking. It's really hard to get right now. We've got 3 rotted rows over here, 12 footers that we'll replace. This top railing is 2x6 material. We'll replace it down this right side, down the rear. And there was a little bit extra that my brother will have to piece in down here on the decking, right in this corner right here. You can see it. If they were staying in the house, we'd go ahead and replace it all, but they're not. So we'll just repair and restain, and it'll look good for a buyer. We'll replace this railing right here, all the way back down. Hated the contractor told him it was cedar. This is really just low-grade pressure treated. And then right here, I think there's one board on this deck. I don't remember where it is now, but there's one down here that's rotted. And the guys may find a little bit more. This piece of railing down the back rear deck and all the way across the back side there needs to be replaced. Great house though. I mean, they have, if you want to buy a great house in the country, just call us and let us know. They got an amazing lot. You can kind of see the condition of the chimney up here. Now up here, we'll try to salvage that siding. We'll pull all that off. The left rear corner board is rotted, so we'll replace that whole piece. But all the siding on the chimney up there will be replaced with hardy plank. And then it's going to be really hard to see it in the video, but we've got a little bit of rot right here in this soffit up here. You can sort of see it. See that wrinkling up under there? It's the same thing. They got a gutter cover system up there, and it just causes rot after a while. And then when we come back around, look at this yard. It's like living out in the country. They have so many flowers and plants out here. It's amazing. And there's the resident kitty cat right there. He's just waiting for his next little birdie to fly on through. You can see they got their koi pond going back here. Once we fix this thing up, this is the challenge for sellers. You hate to do all this stuff for somebody else, but if you do it right, you're not going to spend a fortune. It's going to maximize your resale price. Here on the left side of the house, you see all these joints right here? We're going to take some of that siding we salvaged from the chimney and blend it in here in 3 and 4 foot repairs up this joint right here. Those are all rotted out. And those are things that the inspector is going to catch, and we don't want that. So my brother and I run a crew of 30. We pretty much do everything. Once this house gets fixed up, we'll come back and paint it. 2 coats of paint, change the color to something a little more modern, with a little more curb appeal. And this house will sell very quickly. We pretty much